like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Welcome. It is October the 25th, 2020. Bring the mic in. There we go. It is 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I am the Angry Angel. Hello. And this is Ask an Angel. It's been a while since I did this. Been a couple of weeks, been sick, and I've got a whole bunch of questions today. Whole bunch that I've got prepared to answer. It's about 13 or 14. There's a lot of very confused people out there that are wanting. It's almost like the questions are more asking. They want something, but they want reassuring that it's okay to do it. So as I said, it's about 13, 14 questions, and we can see if we can whip them off in a couple of hours. First one is from Anonymous. Let's get to the questions. Boom. Is that the one? Yes. I have a boyfriend whom I love so much. One day I tested him by saying I want to be alone. He got angry and blocked my number. Now I'm begging him, sending him messages. He doesn't reply, even calling with different number. If he hears my voice, he will end the call. Now I'm so worried I can't take the love I have for him to another person. I don't know what to do. Please, I need advice. What should I do? Yeah, it's a very weird test. It's a very strange test. I'm not quite sure why you did that. Like, there's a lot of people, we all do things, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, to test our partners. Not test your boyfriend. Yeah, that's definitely what you shouldn't have done. I mean, we all do little things, right? Sometimes it's in subtle things that we say. We all do it quite often. We say "I love you" just to hear the thing back. I mean, yes, we mean that we love the person, but sometimes we need that little reassurance. But it's not just a reassurance; it's kind of like a test. It's like, but it shouldn't be treated like a test. But it's also the scale in which you do it. You've gone to some kind of extreme, and I don't understand what you were testing. That's the part. Were you testing that he would turn around and go, "Oh no, I'm going to still be there for you"? That's the part I'm kind of feeling that's what your goal was. Yeah, I think you were trying to get a reassurance of he go, no. You don't need to be alone. I'm here for you. Okay? I think that's what you're going for. But that's the feel I'm getting from it. That's the only reason. Now, the problem you're in right now is it's backfired. They're upset. Fuck this. You want to be alone. They've taken the wrong thought of it. And they're pushing you away. Now, thing you need also, okay, you need to ask yourself, because the test, it backfired, but at the same time, you may have also learned something. If that was your intention, your test might have actually worked a little bit in your favor, because they weren't there for you. They were able to just throw you away like that. Psh, fuck this. Is that the person you want to be with? Do you want to be with a person who loves you and cherishes you and will give you the time and space that you need? This person did not. This person has just went, fuck this. They want to be alone and be all sensitive, but you're still in love with the person. Now, what you're doing, in the way that you're doing it, you are basically stalking. You're going over above and beyond, texting him, calling him with a different number. It's a little much. The best advice I can give to you on this, back off. Back way off. Stop calling them. They know that you're calling. They know that you're doing this. I mean, yes, they may have moved on. which sucks, and my heart breaks for you. But at the same time, it could be a good thing because, one, you've gotten rid of somebody who doesn't seem, either is way too sensitive or just doesn't care enough. Or I'll show her, right? My advice on all of it, whichever way this is playing out, whichever way this is going to go, is to back off. It's kind of like that finger puzzle, that Chinese finger puzzle, where you stick your fingers in and you pull and you pull and you pull. Right? That's what you're doing. You're trying hard. Just relax, take a deep breath, step back for a moment, and your fingers are released. Same with this. This could go positive, this could go negative. But either way, back off, let yourself relax, go do something else. I know it's easier said than done, but just take a step back and either, yes, you will move on. If this doesn't go, if you don't get back with this person, you will find somebody else. You will, right? The world is like, everybody goes, oh no, I'll never be, are always the ones that when they take a step back, you'll find the next person. Or I've never been in love. That's because you're trying to be in love. Stop trying so hard. That's my advice for this, is stop texting, stop calling, and chances are they'll probably even miss you and go, hey, how's it going? Are you okay? If there was real love there, they'll come to you, right? If there's not, then at least you can move on from this. Yes, you made a mistake, and you know what's great about mistakes? We can learn from them and not do it again later. So whether it's this guy or the next guy that you are with, don't test like that. Sometimes you just, if you want to know something, flat out ask, hey, if I'm down, will you be there for me? Of course I will. If I need space, will you give it to me without running away? Sometimes ask. Especially early in the relationship, not later on, because it's like, fuck, you should already know. Fuck, we've been together long enough. You should already fucking know I'm going to be here. That's my advice on this one. Exactly. Yeah. Don't mix things around. Some people are cool with that. A lot of people are not. It comes across like you're playing games, right? And that's exactly how. Now, saying I want to be alone, if those are the exact words you're saying as well, that could mean that. Okay, here's one for you. Did you ever watch Friends, right, with Ross and Rachel? Right, I'm bringing up a TV show, I know. Think of that part in there when they had their, what did they do? They took a break, right? Ross thought it was over, right? So he continued on. She just wanted like some time apart, and fuck, I can't even really remember. It's been so long ago. But that's the thing I'm saying, is something like that, in the wording of it, can be completely misunderstood. That could be what's happened here. Is he's thinking you've said, fuck, you want to be alone, you don't want to be with me anymore, and he's gotten his, it sounds like he's gotten his knickers in a twist, and this has backfired on you big time. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, right. It happens, right? Miscommunication in a relationship happens all the time, and it's what I really promote in my show, in pretty much all my previous episodes, is communication, but also good communication. If there is a misunderstanding, if you get butthurt in any way, shape, or form, ask to clarify. Is this really what you mean? If the relationship is about to end, and you think it's about to end, and the person's put up, and you, okay, I just want to make sure that this is really what you want. You want this relationship to end. It's like, no, I don't want that. Because it might not be that way. It's really important that communication from beginning to end, talking about what you want, expectations, letting each other know how you feel. Little reassurance, and don't be ashamed of asking for reassurance, and don't be holding back if your partner needs it, right? But at the same time, don't overdo it as well. If you say I love you about 1,000 times a day, it sounds sweet, it sounds romantic, but I can guarantee it's going to get stale and old, and you don't want to like take the meaning away from it. So say it, but don't say it too much. Learn the balance. Learn that point where it's sweet and romantic and not, oh my God, she's saying it again. Oh, I get it. You love me. Go away. No, you don't want to get to that point. Just like you wouldn't want to get to that point either in yourself. But communication is, as I said, is important. And I am rambling now on the same question. Let's move on to the next. I need to get better music. Okay, this is a quick question, and it's a random one. Random question. Very short question. Can a man make a woman happy without money? This question should not be just simply can a man. It could be either way, right? Yes, I think so. However, the question's a little vague. If you're talking about like one person making another person happy, yes, anybody can make happy. But if you're talking about like a relationship, a lasting relationship, why, yes, you can. However, there could be tricky parts because money pays for things, right? If there's no money, there's going to be struggle. That's when it separates the meh kind of relationship to the solid relationship, right? There's a reason why they added that into wedding vows. Richer or poorer is sickness, health, blah blah blah. It's basically saying, are you going to be there when the chips are down, when shit gets real, when life is real, when it's not all easy, when it's not all sunshine and rainbows, when the fucking sky is falling in and I just want to fucking veg and just eat ice cream and cry in front of the fucking TV. Are you still going to be there for me? When I'm broke as fuck, are you still going to be there for me? Are you going to live in a little fucking shack? Are you going to live in the fucking apartment that's falling apart and stay with me? Do you love me that much? Some people do, some people don't. Right? You can't necessarily expect the person to want to go through that hell, but the person who is willing to go through hell, that's the relationship that's going to matter. Yes, it can happen, but don't expect it to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, money eases stress for sure. More than that, yeah, much more than that. That's a really good thing to say. It's there's a lot more to it. Depends on what the relationship is like, but the thing that can really affect it is also time as well. Let's say the relationship is really fresh and new. And let's say it's a brand new relationship, very healthy, very new, and everybody's working. And week number 2, the guy or the girl suddenly loses their job, and they are struggling. Right, like with me right now, I'm out of work. I'm struggling to find a new job. But anyway, it's brand new. The person who's with you, well, let's say they decide after a month or whatever. Some relationships do this. They move in together, and then there's that kind of struggle. The relationship, the partner is not going to want to end with the person because they're going to feel like an asshole. But that's now putting on resentment. So steadily, there's now things that's piling up, and that relationship is probably bound to fail. Might not. It might be that there is such love in there that they will work together, and that going through that together will actually make the relationship stronger. That's gold. That is fucking gold. Because yeah, you will go through hell together. Fuck, if the person stays with you, fuck it, ask them to get a piece of fucking string, make it into a loop, stick it on the person's finger, and say, or I would say, would you marry me? There's your ring. You're broke as fuck, but you know that you're going to be together because you just went through that. I know this is a bit more of a big answer to a small question, but yes, I think a man or a woman can make your partner happy without money. But money is an important factor, but at the same time isn't. It's a confusing question with a confusing answer. Yeah, that's really my thing. There's no perfect answer for that question. It just depends on the scenario, the situation, what you're wanting. Can you get laid without money? Depends on the person you're with. Can you... Yeah, exactly. It's one part of it. But it's not the be all and end all. It's not the end of the universe. It's not the end of the world. It's not the... And if it's not the relationship that's meant to happen, and it's not the one that's meant to happen, if the person is shallow, that they need money, that they got, it's not the right person. It's not the right person. If they need money to be with you, to look at you, to spend any time with you, it's not worth it. Can happen, can work, but if they can't even last a few days with you because of no money, or because you're not poor, but right, it's not really worth it. Find the person that's going to be with you for you. Sorry. Just be yes or no. Exactly. It's not a yes or no question. It's a... To the exact question, can the... It's... Yes, it is possible. But not a guarantee. I hope that helps in some way. There's no real scenarios, but yeah, to the question, it is the way it is. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, because that one was just a weird question. Question number 3. Oh, come on. Is that... No, hang on. I want to get this all more mainstream. Eventually. There we go. Question 3 from Mary. What's your advice on online dating? Does it really work? It can. But it's just like any relationship. You've got to be realistic and look at the problems of any relationship, be it online or even in person, right? We just a question a moment ago. Actually, all the questions that I ask, they're right next to each other, and there's issues, right? It can work. I met my husband online, and we've been together 13 years. Yes, yeah, right. If you're asking, can the relationship last only online? Like, let's say I'm in Canada, and there's some woman, and she's in Russia, and I can't move, she can't move, and the relationships, it can last. But if the goal is to one day be married and have children and blah, 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 if that's one of my goals and one of my dreams, unless the two people are willing to do something, probably not. If there's no intention, let's say I have no intention of really ever being married, no intention of having children, it could last, but at the same time, there's also physical intimacy that is a key part for some people. It's really what you got to ask yourself is, what are you wanting in a relationship? How far are you wanting to take the relationship? What are your goals in life? Are you willing to die completely alone and never being with somebody in your bed, blah, blah, blah? Are you willing to have separate relationships from each other? So your partner in the other place, they can date locally, even have sex, blah, blah, blah. You can, blah, 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 and still maintain the relationship. These are questions that you need to ask for the situation and the scenario. Yeah, he eventually moved in with, yeah. So it depends on what your goals are in the long run. What are you wanting? What are your expectations? It can work. But if your expectations are to have sex with the person and you're not willing to, or her, or have children, or be married, no, I can't see it lasting. Eventually, that question is going to come up, and eventually, if nothing is going to happen, it'll just stay the same. Yeah. That's really that one. Not an easy one, not a yes or no, but yes, it can work. Yes, they're possible. It's just what your ultimate goals are for both parties, not just yours. Don't just think, oh, I'm willing to be in the relationship, and you need to communicate on what you want overall, what he is willing to do. And while there's some people that they don't want to talk about big questions like that at the beginning of a relationship, it is an important one that comes up. Like if it's, you just want to date or whatever, you just want to talk, you want to, right? Sure, whatever. A short-term relationship or long-term relationship, however, that's when it gets. So it's also how much emotion you're willing to invest in something like that. Let's say you fall in love with that person. You're not really interested in marriage or children or blah, blah, blah. And the other person is. They want that. They've not really discussed it. They think that maybe one day you might actually move, or she might actually move. You don't know for sure, but she wants children, and you fall in love, and it gets deeper and deeper and stronger and stronger. And you even want to be together, but there's no way to do it. And it gets deeper and deeper. But you just haven't even talked about that fact that you don't want children, but she does. Still haven't mentioned it. She wants to get married. And then all of a sudden in a conversation it comes up. Maybe as we're watching a movie simultaneously and it comes up. One day I'd like to get married. Oh, I don't care. I don't believe in marriage. Blah, blah, blah. Crush. Or let's say that's not even in the picture. You can't move. They're in another country. You're in another country. And they can't move, or you can't move. You just can't be together. Crush. Expectations should be mentioned early. Is this just a fling? Is this just communication? And these questions need to be asked. Maybe not on the first few days, but maybe not in the first week or two. But they do need to be, expectations do need to be talked about. Yeah. All right. That was fairly easy. Next question from Sydney. Question number 4. Boom. Definition of love. In your own understanding, what is love? Okay, I've actually had this question asked of me a lot in my life. And I've studied it a lot. Right. My favorite understanding of it, taking a step back from the romantic side of it, to go to the more realistic side, is love is not what you feel for the other person, but I mean it is. You care for the person, all that kind of stuff. But the feel of love is actually the love that you feel is the joy of how you feel being around that person, talking to that person. You're actually in love with that, how that person makes you feel, how that person makes you smile, how that person, you're in love with the emotion, the energy that you're feeling. You care about the person. That itself is what love really is. It's why if you really take a look at most relationships, when they fall out, they turn around and they suddenly say, oh, I can't believe this, I can't believe that, I can't believe, oh my God, it's a completely different person. No, they're the same person. The moments that you were around the person, the moments that you were talking, you enjoyed that. Oh my God, I love looking at that person. I love, oh, they're so attractive. You're in love. The feeling that you're feeling is what you're feeling in yourself. It's not that you're in love with them, you're in love with how you're feeling. You're enjoying that feeling that you feel when you look, when you talk, when you hear their voice. And when then that's gone and you're not feeling it anymore, you miss it. That's what love really is. And it's not to diminish the thought of that you're in love with them, and because it's true. But it's not really true. It's not a love of the person. You love how you feel. And that's my best understanding of love. It's why people really, if you think about it, when you watch them move on or get over a relationship, they say, oh, I'm falling out of love. No. There's no such thing. You can't just... when I hear people talk, say, oh, I've fallen out of love. Bullshit. It's not a fucking light switch. You've gotten over the feel of that, the joy of being around the person. You've actually started to forget about that wonderful feeling, that addictiveness of being around that person, or hearing them, or thinking about them, or whatever it is that you're doing that's really put a smile on your face. That's why some relationships go stale, because it's like, I like it, but I'm so used to it. Yeah, I've got this all the fucking time. Imagine eating a food, your favorite food, every single day. You love the taste of it, and you're having it for today, and you'll have it again tomorrow, and you have it. It's the only thing you're fucking eating. After about a week to 2 weeks, that favorite food is probably not going to be your favorite food anymore. You'll still like it. It's not your favorite food anymore. In the relationship, it's why the things that you do are important. Doing things together, saying things to each other to make the person feel that same joy. It's an interest. It's how I've always seen it, and I actually find it quite beautiful. And it's helped me understand how relationships fall apart and how to actually mend them, and actually to make somebody fall in love with you, which again, it's not that they fall in love with you. We've actually said this to each other throughout history. I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you, and our brains are conditioned to go, that's how it is. I'm in love with this person, I'm in love with that person in love with me. We've, throughout society, throughout time, we've built this understanding of it, but not actually taking a look at what are you throwing out, right? What are you actually pushing out of yourself? I'm in love with that person, they're in love with me. There's no physical side of things. There's no actual energy going out. I'm in love with them, so they must be in love with me. Well, no, right? They're not actually enjoying that moment they're around. They don't have the feeling, and that's where it is. And that, as I said, it was in a book. Yes, I actually read a book once. Shush. I think it was like 20 years ago, and I forgot what the person's name was. I wish I could, because yeah, they talk about this hugely. And when I read it, I was confused as fuck at first, and I'm like, you are absolutely fucking right. There's no actual energy when I'm in love with somebody. That energy does not leave my body. There's nothing physical going out. But I love this feeling. I love being around them. I love hearing about them. I love when somebody else talks about them. When I've got this picture, I feel good about myself. Now, it's a different kind of feeling because of the roles in which we put on people, right? I can love my family, my mother, my father. They've done stuff for me, and I feel good. I feel good about this stuff. My mother, and I can think about it. My mother gave birth to me. My father and my mother helped raise me. And because of them, I am who I am. And so I love them. But I love the feeling that I feel knowing them. Because they exist. But there's no physical energy going out or coming in. I mean, there might be. I don't know the whole spiritual side of things. There might be a connection, a pure connection. But on the there's nothing. So it's got to be something internally inside of me that I enjoy this wonderful feeling. And it never goes away. And why does it not go away? because of also the memories of it, the knowing of, you know that saying, I don't always like you, but I will always love you. Yeah. That's why a person can piss you off. I don't like that fucking thing they did. But I still love them. I'm still feeling all these feelings. And I'm rambling again on this question, but yeah, that's my take on love. That's my take on what love is. Some people might look at it and go, oh, that's kind of jaded, but it's not really. It's actually quite beautiful. I love love. I love being in love. I love loving my friends, my family. I do think there's a spiritual thing of it. I really like right down deep. But that's another story on that. I do think there are connections to people, but on the concept of love in itself, that's my thoughts on that. Next question. Oh, where is it? And this is question number 5 from somebody called Musa. Such a cool name. Okay, Musa. Please, I need your advice. I need your warm advice. My girlfriend quit our relationship just because I posted her pics on Facebook. Friends, is she right by quitting the relationship? It's an interesting question. I'm going to try to be blunt with you. That was a shitty thing to do. If you didn't have our permission. And I don't know what kind of pics you're saying you posted. If it's just like a face, really, it's not a big deal. I mean, like, just like you're thinking, it's not a big deal. I just posted pics. It's pictures that she doesn't want. Like the sexy picture. I mean, she could be offended. She could be embarrassed. She could be... There's all kinds of reasons why she might be upset. The main thing is you didn't talk to her about it. You didn't ask her. You didn't... If you asked her and she has given you permission, she's already said, yeah, you know what? I don't mind you putting these online. That's fine. It's sweet. Is this a picture of you with her? Like, is that all huggy and, right, all sweet? Again, you kind of want to have their permission. I think it would be a little bit kind of sensitive on that, but understanding why she might be upset, that would be a best thing to do. To quit the relationship, I think I might be a bit harsh, and she sounds like she was sensitive. The best thing for you to do if you want her back is to basically say, here's a quick one, it's really easy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you. I'm sorry I didn't ask you. And I'm sorry you got hurt by this. That's the best thing you can do. That might work. It might not. She might be just too upset. But that's your best thing. You really should have talked to her about it first. If she's a private person, and I guess it was just, yeah. And did not discuss after. Right. That's actually a really good point. If she's asked you to take him down, if she hasn't even given you the chance, I think that might be a bit quick. Like if she hasn't basically said, I don't really like these up, can you just take them down, please? If you took them down, then everything's great. If she's asked you and you refused, yes, she has the right to be a... Hell, I can tell you from the point of a photographer, all my pictures, they belong to me, right? I've shot clients, I've shot models. I ask their permission. Am I allowed to use these? Because the picture of them as the model, they do have rights, right? So if you've taken a picture, while that picture does belong to you and you can print it and blah, 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 to post it online, you do need their permission. That's called a model. We call it in the photography business, we call that a model release, right? And that's on anybody. I can't go. A lot of people think that you can just go out in the street and just take pictures of anybody and it's completely fine. No, you can actually be sued for that. You can actually be sued by using her likeness in a public place without her approval. On Facebook, it's a little bit harder to get that, but you can report the person saying that there's a picture of you without your permission, and that's your picture, and Facebook will look into it and they will have it removed. It takes a little bit longer to do that. There's a little bit of a fighting to be done, and if they don't, yes, lawyers could be involved. That's how bad it can be. In a legal aspect of it, because it's all copyright and all that kind of stuff. It's why if you ever watch a show, quite often they have to blur things out, because they can be identified, right? Because they didn't have permission. And if you don't, legally, she could actually, like, if you've got that picture on and she didn't want it, she could contact a lawyer and demand you take it down. And if you still don't, you could ask for financial stuff. So I would take it down. If you want to still be with the person, without a doubt, apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. The picture's down. I wanted to show you off, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your intent was. It's kind of sweet in the fact that you wanted to show your girlfriend off. Don't get me wrong. There's a sweetness to what you did, if that was your intent. If your intent was to go, oh my God, look at my girl, she's got big boobies. That's kind of creepy. It's your intent. It might seem to you to be innocent and almost complimentary, but to the person, could you imagine if your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend or whatever, she took a picture of your junk, or you sent her a dick pic, right? And she goes and posts that on the internet. Are you okay with that? No, you're not. Of course you're not. Start showing off to everybody. No, you're not. That's private. That's how serious this is. Now it's just, you're thinking it's just her face. To her, it's the same. It's her private face. You didn't ask permission. She didn't want it on. Apologize. Stop being a dumbass. You might save the relationship. If nothing, this person who you care about will feel better that you cared enough to apologize, that you understood why she was hurt. That's question 5. All right. Question 6. From Lucy. Oh, on keyboard. From Lucy. Lucy. What can someone do to win a man's heart, to make a relationship to last long, or even lead to marriage? Because I'm passing through hell in the relationship. I'm very confused by this question. The first part of your question, the answer is time. What can you do to win a man's heart? There's no definitive answer on that one. There's things that you can try, but there's the rule book. If you do this, you'll win the man's heart that you want. And there's going to be so many people out there that's going to say, yeah, no, no, you don't. There's no guarantee that you're going to win your partner's heart. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. There's no guarantee that a person... In Aladdin, the genie literally says, I cannot make the person fall in love with you. Right? There is none. There's things that you can do to try. 1, be there for them. Ask them out. Talk. Give time. Express that you're interested in them. That's not going to guarantee that they're going to fall in love with you, but that might grab their attention to take a look, because that's really what you want first, is you want their attention. They're not going to fall in love with you if they don't know who you are. So if this is somebody, like, I don't know, see, all I've got is Lucy. So this is a guy. If this is somebody you're in school with or at work with, and you're looking over and you're attractive, and they don't even know you exist, they're not going to fall in love with you. They don't know you exist. Get their attention. That's the first thing. Whether it is dressing up a bit provocatively, not too provocatively. I'm not saying fucking show your cleaver. Look at me, I've got boobies. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just dress up a bit, but subtly. If you do too strong, you might come across as right. People are going to be looking at you, going, "Oh, who's she trying to impress?" Right? You're trying to impress, but that's what you kind of want to do. You just want their attention, and then maybe find stuff that they're interested in. But also, again, subtly. I'm not saying go and stalk them, go on their Facebook page and only show and make up and pretend to be interested in the things that they're interested in. Look for commonalities. Look for similarities. Look at stuff that they like that you like. Don't go and say, if they like the movie Rocky, right? So you, who've never watched boxing, who've never watched the Rocky movie, can't even stand Stallone, you suddenly, oh fuck, I love that movie. Don't fake it. Don't pretend to like something that you don't like. Because even if the relationship starts and that comes out, and let's say you want, let's watch Rocky, you are visibly going to look like you don't like this, right? But if you can like it, it's going to come out naturally, and you've got that spark going, right? So that's what we want to find, is things that you guys have in common. Once you've got that attention, you've got that commonality, maybe ask them out. It is 2020. A woman can ask a man out. It's completely fine. I know some people look at it, if the woman asks the man out, she's a slut. It's not true. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And frankly, if you were to do this and the guy suddenly turned around and treat you like that, guy doesn't deserve your interest, and you don't want this guy. That's how he's going to react. This is not somebody you want. You want somebody to be interested in you, attracted to you in the way you are and for who you are. That's a good, solid relationship. Not a person who's, just because you ask them out, they're going to think negative of you. Fuck off. Who does he think he is? But that's really the be all. Now, the last part of the question that I was confused with is, because I'm passing through hell in the relationship I am. Now this makes me wonder, is this a relation to win a heart? So you're in a, from what I'm almost gathering, and this is why I was confused, it sounded like you're trying to win somebody who you're not with. But then you talk about a relationship. If this is a relationship you're in with, why are you in a relationship with somebody there's no feelings for? And if there is, are you just being sensitive and going, oh, he doesn't love me? Is that the case? Because I'm passing through hell. So this is where my brain is thinking. This is a relationship you're in, and you want to get married to this person, and they haven't asked you, and so you're assuming that because they haven't asked you, they don't love you. If that's the case, and you're just waiting. You're waiting for that Prince Charming to slap a fucking ring on your finger and let's get married, blah, blah, blah. And if they don't do that, it's not love. Well, that's not true. You might not believe in marriage. Here's a question. Maybe talk to them. Maybe bring it up when you're watching a movie, when you're doing something together. Hey, what's your thoughts on marriage? Or watch a movie with marriage in it. Right? And then discuss it. Just nonchalantly just start bringing up, I'd like to get married one day. That'd be really nice. Mate, you'll figure it out. You'll feel it, and you'll get the right moment, and you'll know when to bring that up. Don't do it like in your face. You want to get married? I mean, you could also, as I said, 2020, you could propose to him. But feel it out. It could be that they're not interested, that they're in love with you, but they're not interested in marriage. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, is this a relationship you want that's not going to lead to marriage? Not that they don't love you, it's that it's not something that they want. And then you'll need to decide to yourself, if they don't want marriage, are you wanting marriage, or do you want this person? Is marriage the thing important, or is the guy more important? And you need to, if marriage is the thing, maybe you need to consider moving on. If marriage is the most important, if the guy's more important, you need to decide: can you be with this man and never get married, or even be patient? Because maybe a person who's not really interested in marriage can suddenly later on be so in love with you. But let them know that marriage was an important thing to you, or is an important thing to you. And whether they think it's just an ancient institution, blah blah blah, it's an important thing to you. These are just my thoughts and how I think you. I wanted to get married and thought it would never happen, but it went to propose. Right? So it happens, right? That's how I think that's where your mind is. But would have spent my whole life not married to him if it meant be a mother. That's beautiful. Right there. Right. So if this is what you're going through, this is the hell you want to marry this person, one, you could ask them yourself. Is marriage something that you want? I know you want the perfect proposal. By asking, is it something that you're interested in? You're kind of like knowing, is this something that you want? Is it not? But you've also put it into that. You've kind of put a subtle hint, and then just wait. Maybe you'll get your beautiful fucking Prince Charming Disney moment fucking proposal, if that's what you're looking for. Make it a hint. Watch a bunch of movies where there's wedding. Father of the Bride is a good one. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It's actually a pretty funny movie. There's little subtle ways to bring up the topic without discussing it, or put the thought in his mind. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And we're going to move on to question number 6. Okay, this is an interesting one. What causes a man to cheat? Again, this is not a male or female thing. This is because both do it. Both males and females cheat. A lot of people want to try to go, oh, it's only males. And some people will say, oh, female. Mostly females that cheat. No. I can tell you for sure, both sexes cheat as much as the other thing. Now, there are multiple reasons that can cause it. Right there, 2 has been mentioned: self-esteem, temptation, lack of there's so many reasons where the other party. It could even be just something that they enjoy. There's actually a kink out there that of sleeping with somebody else. Sometimes with them knowing, sometimes without them knowing. Sometimes it could be that the thrill, absolutely, the thrill of not being caught, the thrill of there's another word I'm going to use that I'm hoping Twitch doesn't get mad at me. There's a thing called cuckolding, where the guy actually enjoys their partner sleeping, or the girl or the guy being with another person while they watch. That's actually a thing. There's all kinds of reasons. With your question, because there's nothing behind it, I can't really say why your partner might be cheating or might cheat, or if this is for yourself, why you're feeling the need to cheat. I don't know if that's what it is. If it is the case, I would suggest talking to your partner, and not necessarily cheat, but maybe they are okay with you being with another person. If this is that you attracted to another person and you want to have sex with them or even have a relationship with them, maybe it's time to talk about an open relationship. If this is just a thrill, I can't really say. I'm not promoting anything in any way, shape, or form. So if that's what you want me to give you a pat on the back to cheat, I'm not going to give you that. I would advise thinking about what it is that you're wanting and talking with your partner. If this is just a quick question, maybe this is a person you've been cheated on and you're needing to understand why this has happened. Again, I can't, without information, I can't say for sure. It could have, the relationship might have gone stale. I'm not trying to excuse it, but you're asking for reasons. What causes it? That's one reason. It's not a good excuse, but there's things that could have happened. If it's gone stale, usually when it's stale, I'm not trying to pin the blame on you, but usually when a relationship turns stale, it's not just one side, it is both sides. They've not done enough to spark the flame, right? If the flame is gone, if it's completely extinguished, you need to decide, do you love the person? Do you want to try to make it work? That's what happens when the relationship turns stale. I can't decide any of this. As I said, I've got one line, barely six words of a question. If I had more information, I could maybe tell you why it happened. If it is that you're wanting to know if it should be okay for you to cheat, as I said, I am not promoting that in any way, shape, or form. That's never going to come out of my lips at all. That's completely on you and what you do. It's a very dangerous thing. Even with the thrill, it's a dangerous thing. And people's emotions can get hurt, including your own. So I'm not going to ever promote people being hurt. That's never going to come out of my mouth. But if it is that you're hurt, feel free to send another email telling me what it is that's happened. Maybe I can try to understand it. Maybe if you want to know, should you try to make the relationship work? Maybe you've been cheated on a bunch of times and you need some reassurance or something. Feel free to send me another email, and right there, where is it? Right here. And I'll try to answer that. If you don't want me to answer it online, I won't. Or if you want to put anonymous, put anonymous. And I will try my best to answer. Either way. Anyway, moving on to question number 8. Oh yeah. This music is... I've got to get some more music. I mean, it's nice, it's calming. And it's like, again, afterthought. That's what I wanted. But it's so repetitive now. Okay. Where's my questions? There they are. Okay, these next 2 questions are pretty much the same question. Just slightly different. You'll understand in a moment. Boom. There we go. Can a girl of 26 years old marry a man of 45 years old? And this question comes from Rita. Yeah. There's no legal issue there. There's no... The only issues that I could see. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Should you do it? If that's what you're wanting to do. Is he proposed to you? You proposed to him? Blah, blah, blah. If you want to get married, get married. But what you should do is look at the realistic issues that you could be facing. That does not mean that just because there's issues that you can't overcome them, you can. But also keep in mind, you're 26. If you want to be married and have children and have a nice, happy family, you're at the age where it's doable. And for guys, they can actually, a guy can get a woman pregnant. I've known guys in the 60s, even 70s, get a woman pregnant. It happens. A woman, however, she has a limited time. It's usually in the late 30s. But I've known a woman in her late 50s. She got pregnant. So it's possible. It's just harder and dangerous on their health. Now, right now, you're at an age where it should be okay. But he's also at an age where does he want children? So if that's what he is, if you want children, he doesn't want children because he's 45, it's something you just really want to discuss, the realisticness. The next issue that you're going to have is, and you also need to decide, it shouldn't matter at all. I have to go. I have a super resolution. Well, thank you, Mr. X. It's good seeing you. If you do want to see the rest of it, there's in the VODs or even on YouTube. It'll be there. But yeah, you have a wonderful evening. And thanks for coming. Much appreciated. Back to my question. The second issue that you're going to be facing is other people. How are other people going to now... really, you shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what other people think. The relationship is between you and your partner. Do you love him? Do they love you? Can it work in a relationship, long term, short term? You're getting married, so you're talking about marriage, so you're talking about a long term thing, right? I'm assuming you're not planning on getting married just to break up after a few years. You want this for the long haul. Most people do, even though the divorce rate is high. Most people get into it because they think this is going to be so. That I'm going to assume is your goal, is to have a relationship that's going to stand the test of time. So if that's the case, how other people are going to be interacting with you is a factor, right? Can your friends and family accept that? I mean, the difference is... It's not even... Is it 20? Hang on, 26? It's not even... It's 19 years in difference. It's a difference, and some things are going to be different between the two of you. Some things that you like are going to be slightly immature in comparison to stuff he's going to like, but it can still work. The relationship can still work. You just got to look at the realisticness and the hurdles that you're going to be facing and treat them realistically. What if, for instance, this came from me. So you're the girl. I'm assuming. So the 26-year-old girl. What if a family does not like the fact that there is a 19-year difference? What if you want children and he doesn't want children, or vice versa? He wants children, you don't want children, the family wants children. Are they going to be on your case about it, or is this going to potentially create a rift? What if he doesn't like spending time with your family all the time, but you are still a family person? You got to look at all these questions, and can you get through these things? You might be very family oriented, and he might not be, and they're not accepting of him. Is that going to kill the marriage? Are you going to have children and they keep hounding and you just break up? Now you've not only put your relationship, there's a child involved, and now it's going to be even worse. You've got to keep in mind, when you turn 40, he's going to be 61. When you turn 61, he's going to be 81. If he's to make it old, chances are he is going to die well before you are, leaving you alone. Yes, you could find somebody else. All these aspects are real. I'm not trying to talk you out of getting married. I'm not trying to promote you get married. I'm not trying to talk you into. The choice is yours. I forgot to give my disclaimer, which I'll be adding on in YouTube, but the disclaimer is, I'm not a professional. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am just a guy who answers questions on TikTok. On Twitch. So, yeah, that's my answer to that. Is don't take me saying this as you definitely should do this, you should definitely do that. The choice is still yours. But just, if you're going to do it, look at all those possible issues before you do. Especially if you're thinking children. I mean, if there's no children involved, in 5-10 years from now, it doesn't work out and you just get divorced, whatever, right? I mean, yes, it's going to be hurt. but you can move on. But when there's a child involved, it's a bigger thing. So that's my thoughts on all of that. Next question, as I said, it's very similar. It comes from Donna. Very similar question, only the difference is there. What is that? I think it's practically the same. No, it's a little less in range. Let me just try to. I'm not gonna try to figure it out in my head. So 33. Yeah, 15. 15-year age. So it's actually closer than the last question. But now this is where it gets very interesting. Because you do have some of those issues to face as well. Can you get married? Yes, absolutely. You're legal. You are of legal age to get married. And to anybody who you choose, within reason, as long as there's, I don't know if your state or country has any laws against certain things. But realistically, if you love each other and you just want to be together, yes, you can get married. The issue, a few more, issues are a bit more heightened. The same, but heightened. Because how people are going to look at you and him. Hang on, let me just double check. You are Donna. So I'm a girl, 18. Your family's going to, if they get along, awesome. If they're not, they don't like the idea of you dating somebody 15 years older than you. It could go really bad. It could be on your case. Oh no, you shouldn't be with them. Blah blah blah. I dated somebody much older than me when I was in my 20s. I was 22. Dated a woman in her 50s. Age 20. Dated somebody who was 52 when I was 22. Like I was with 22, 23. I dated somebody who was about 53. The relationship can happen. Could I have married them? I could have legally married them, but the issues were there in the fact that my family didn't really get along with them. So I still saw them. They even got along with them at events, but there was always that feeling of we really don't like her because she's older. It shouldn't have mattered. But it's kind of like they're gonna look at them. Oh, this person robbing the cradle. They're not robbing the cradle. You're not in a cradle. You're 18. You're actually an adult, right? You know you're an adult. They know you're an adult. Now this is something, and you're going to get a little sensitive with this because of your age. But the thing is, the truth is, and a lot of the adult people, not adult people because you're an adult, the people about 30 and over will more than likely agree. There is an age in all of us when we hit that point, and it's usually about between 17 to 19, and we hit it, and suddenly it's usually we've left school, and we're filled with this feeling of, I'm an adult now, I know things, and I'm going to prove it, and you can't tell me I know everything about everything. And we come across, like, the adults come across, the person comes across with almost like airs and graces, and I know shit, and nobody's going to tell me I'm an adult now. My way is right, and blah blah blah. It happens, and then by the time they get to about late 20s, early 30s, the world just seems to snap in your head, and it's like, oh my god, I really didn't know as much as I thought I did, and it's almost like the universe just punched you in the face, and you're going through shit. You're at that age of, you know, all kinds of stuff. That relationship could take a hit in there, same as that previous one. And the fact that you're going to argue. You need to be prepared for the arguments that you're going to face between that age gap. I mean, there might not be. There is the exception to the rule. You might not be that I'm an adult, so I'm mature and I can know everything about everything and have all my opinions, and I know the answer to all these opinions, and so yeah, there's a lot of like not wanting to budge. You need to be willing to budge. Learn to communicate. It's a great thing. If you can do it at your age right now, your relationship can survive. But you also need to look at, as I said, all the other things, your family, his family, the fact that he's 15 years of age. You have got many years that you can have children. So can he, right? So you've both got that. But him starting having a child right now to 33, by the time he has, that child is grown up, he's then going to be what? Let's say it's, so 30, 40, about 50. He'll be 50 years old. Which is fine. It was great. If you have the child now. Are you planning on having the child now? The other thing that's going to pop up. This is where it gets really, 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 really tricky, and you're going to want to hope your family is completely on board with this. Most people don't just meet the person and say, can we get married right now? They usually get to know somebody, date for a while, a year, 2 years, whatever, and then they decide, would like to get married. I mean, there are some that get within a few months or whatever. But the question is going to come up. When did this relationship start? You're 18 now. When did this relationship start? That question is going to pop up. My advice to you, and as I said, it's just advice. Yes, you could get married right now. I would wait about a year or two so that people don't ask that question as much. Wait till you're about 20 before you get married. Hell, wait till you're 19 before you suddenly announce to people, we're getting married, and then get married when you're 20. That way it doesn't come up. When did this relationship start? When did how old is he again? 33-year-old start dating that 18-year-old? Because it could be a bad thing. Not just, well, for you, but more so for him. Because that question is going to come up. Is this person going to be going to jail? Just tossing that out there as a thought. Be careful on how you handle this. Yes, you can get married, but that question can come up and could make yours and his life a living hell. Handle this with care at the moment. If you're the same age, if he was 18, you're 18, easy fix, not a problem. Nobody's gonna look bad on that. If you're both 17, gonna get married, it's sweet. 33-year-old man suddenly getting married to an 18-year-old, the question is gonna come up, when did that relationship start? What has been done? Anyway, that's that question. Next question. Question number 10. We're getting there. We are getting there. Alright, please, hang on. I need advice on this. Is it bad to date the brother to my brother's girlfriend? Hang on. I gotta read this again. Please, I need advice on this. Is it bad to date the brother to my brother's girlfriend? Okay, so you're talking about so your brother's girlfriend's brother. So not related to you, just related to your brother's girlfriend. I get it. Yeah, I don't see why that should be an issue. Here's a not related issue that could come up. I mean, you kind of want to talk to your brother about it, and your brother might not be too happy with it. But it's really between you and the person who you're going to be with, or you are with, or blah blah blah. If it's just dating, it shouldn't be an issue, but it might be, right? Your brother's going to be all like, what the fuck? Both could be nice, but the other thing that you got to keep in mind, siblings talk just like you and your brother will talk, right? And know stuff. So what happens? The secrets are not kept. If something goes wrong, that's where things could get really difficult. It's like dating somebody and their friend getting involved and talking and shit like that, and they don't get along. Shit, there could be complications in that. So just be aware that there could be close siblings, and they will usually take each other's side before the person that they're with. If you want to get this in a relationship, if this is just going to be just dating or having sex or blah blah blah, it shouldn't really be a big deal. You have to learn to really keep the aspects separate. Right, the relationship between you and your brother should be just like that, separate from the relationship with. Right, that's my advice. Question 11 from Sheila. Okay, I need your mature advice, please. I'm in a relationship with my boyfriend. Hang on, sorry. I'm in a relationship and my boyfriend claims to love me. And I honestly love him. Scatter. I don't know what the hell that means. But anytime I talk about seeing my mom, he starts up a quarrel and I end up apologizing to him. Sadly to my mom, I'm not into any sort of relationship. She trusts me, and right now he wants me to give him a child out of wedlock or lose him. But I think I'm obsessed because I can't leave him. He's my life. Okay, he's my life. Have a child out of wedlock or lose him. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. So to my mom, I'm not into any sort of relationship. To my mom, I'm not into any sort of relationship. So your mother doesn't even think you're in a relationship. So that might be why he's upset, right? I would say if you want to keep this person, which is what you're saying, he's your life, blah blah blah, and you don't want to lose the relationship. He wants to have a child with you out of wedlock. It sounds like he just wants to have a child, right? And yeah, he's wanting to have it soon. He's not married. It's not that he's wanting specifically going, oh fuck, I hope I have a baby and not get married. That I don't think that's what the thought is. It's just that he wants to have a family with you. Maybe ask him to get married. I would, however, suggest if you want this relationship to work, you need to talk to your mother. No, but he should be saying, no, don't go and see her. He shouldn't be getting upset when you go see her. But he should be getting upset. He has a right to be upset that you haven't told your mother. He's wanting the relationship to be valid. Right? Why would you hide it? Are you hiding because he wants to have a child? Maybe see if he wants to get married. Maybe say, I would love to have a family with you, but I'd like to get married first. Can we get married first? And if he agrees, then get married and then have a child. I'm not saying you have to be married, but it sounds like that's an important thing for you, is that you want to be married. So if that is the case, mention to him that you'd like to get married first. And whether, if it's, you want to get married just to please your mother, but you don't even care, you need to ask do you really care? And you might need to tell your mother, Mom, I'm not really wanting to get married. But if you want to do it to please your mother, that's okay too. I'm not knocking that as well. But maybe then get married. If marriage is a thing that you want to do, maybe mention it to him that you want to get married first. If he wants to take it serious, if that's an important thing to you and it's an important thing to him, and you want him to maybe see that he wants to have a child, but he wants to be serious and help raise the child, then make sure that that's what they're saying about making an honest woman, right? That's why they're saying it. It's kind of proving your worth, that you want to do it, you want to be it, you're not playing games. That's my thought on that anyway. That's my thoughts on that. Okay, question 12. Alright. Question 12, okay, why is it not popping up yet? There we go. My ex-girlfriend left me and went and dated my... Wait a minute. My ex-girlfriend left me and went and dated my best friend. Now she came and asked me to accept her and please... Hang on. Accept her back. Please, I need advice. The fact that you're asking the question tells me that you kind of want to get back with her because you have feelings for her. But at the same time, you need to ask yourself, can you trust her? For myself, I'd have a hard time. One, she left you for another person. And to make that worse, she left you for your best friend. So she's destroyed the friendship between you and your best friend. And cheated on you, clearly. Because the relationship didn't just start randomly. Oh, you know, that guy right there, I'm going to go and be with that guy and I'm leaving you for that random guy over there. No. They'd been together. I hate to break this to you if you don't already know this. They'd been together for a little bit. They'd been seeing each other, maybe having sex or whatever has caused the relationship to start between them started while you were together. They've left you for that. And now she's going to come back because that didn't work out. And the reason why that probably didn't work out is because 9 times out of 10, when a person leaves another person for another person, they're going to do there's the potential of doing it again. So the person that she went with, your best friend, probably asked the question, well, if she's going to leave that guy, when is she not going to, what's the chances that she's going to do the same thing to me, right? It's going to be there, and the relationship usually falls apart. And you're going to be constantly asking this question again. Let's say you do get back together. You're going to be waiting for the fucking penny to drop. You're going to have resentment. This is be an unresolved issue. Even if you went, the only way you could possibly do it is if you went and got some kind of therapy to make sure. But my advice, move on. That's my advice, is to move on. But if you're really wanting to, I would strongly advise go and see a counsellor. If you want this to work, I need a counsellor because that can't happen again. And if it does happen again, don't let it happen a third time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're letting her do it, giving her a second chance. And you know what? Second chances are second chances, and it's nice to give them, but don't create a pattern by allowing it to be a third. Or accept it. Right? Accept she's going to go, be with somebody, come back. It's just going to be your routine. Anyway, that was question number 12. Let's go on to question 13. From Joy. Joy asks, I'm in a relationship, but tired. How can I leave without informing him? Well, what you could do is, and this is the trick, grow the fuck up, grow a conscience, and don't do that shit. I'm gonna be blunt. That's a shitty thing to do. You're in a relationship. If you want to end it, I'm not saying you have to stay in the relationship. But to do it without informing him, would you like that done to you? No, of course you would not. You don't even need to answer that question. We both know you wouldn't want that to happen to you. Right? For them to be in a relationship, everything seems to be good, but because they got tired, they just ghost you. That's basically what you're saying. You want to ghost the person, and that's a shitty thing. You wouldn't want it to do it. Nobody wants it done to them. So why would you be asking how to do it to somebody else? It's a shitty thing to do. Don't do it. If you need to end it, talk to the person. Find out what it is. That's maybe the relationship could work. You're just tired. Maybe talk about it. Maybe there's a way to salvage the relationship. Maybe there's spark that needs to be put back in. Actually, but for them, the fact that you're asking this question for their sake, I'm actually hoping you find a way to just end it, because they deserve better if that's how you really want to do it. I don't think it honestly is. I think if you really think about it, you know it's a shitty thing to ask, and you don't really want to do it. You don't want to hurt them. So I would talk with them, and if it can't be fixed, then end it. You're just trying to get away from the hurt feeling. You don't want to see his face hurt, and so that's why you don't want to inform him. That's not how you do it. That I'm not answering the question that you, other than saying, if that's what you're gonna do, you're a shitty human being. Give the person closure. If you're honestly going to leave them, if there's no way to fix it, you've decided, I'm ending this relationship, blah blah blah, tell them, and tell them why. Give him some kind of closure. Otherwise, you're going to screw with his head for a year, 2 years. Or even longer. Because it could be that they're badly in love with you, and you're just going to crush them. You're going to crush them. And I'm not going to advise, ever, on actually doing that. Came to the wrong place if that's what you wanted. Okay, next question. Next and final question. And I made it to an hour and a half. Hi, from Ashley. Hi, Angry Angel. I have been in a relationship for more than 2 years, where me and my fiance love each other so much, but the problem is I don't like doing sex automatically. What the hell does that mean? How do you do it? But so he asks for sex and you just boom straight into it. But he always invite me. Okay, so 2 years relationship. He's your fiance. Okay, invite me in his house, and when it reaches the time to leave, he always feels angry because we had no sex until now. I feared to visit him because I don't want to hurt him. Please advise. Should I continue loving him despite all these, though he loves me so much? The question is, do you love him? You're saying to continue. Do you honestly think you can just turn it off? If you think you can turn the love on and off like a light switch, it's chances are you're not actually in love with the person at all. There's no actual love. Because, it's not a light switch. You either love the person or you don't love the person. And even on my concept of love, you either feel joy from the love that you feel for him, like when you're around him, when you're talking to him, and it sounds like you do. You're just not, enjoying the part that you feel when he wants sex and you don't, and he's pushing and getting upset. So what I would suggest at this point is to talk to him and say, hey, I feel like this. No, don't go, you did this, blah, blah, blah. Avoid the you this, you that, pointing the finger. Just go, I feel hurt when you get upset because we didn't have sex. Sometimes, point out, sometimes you feel like you do, sometimes you don't. And ask him, says, can you be with me and not have sex? Is sex the only thing you see? Right? Because if that's all he's wanting you for is sex, it might not be what you want anyway. And it might be time to move on. But you say that he loves you so much. So chances are it's not just about sex. But it's something that he enjoys. Right? You can't knock him for enjoying sex. But he needs to accept that sometimes he's not going to want to have sex. So communication, having a good sit down and good talk about expectations, wants, desires, all that kind of stuff. And then ask each other, can you be in a relationship like this? That sometimes there's sex, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you're in the mood, sometimes you're not. That's my thoughts on that. And that's all my questions done. This will be going up on YouTube for people to watch, just like all my other previous episodes. So if you've not already done so, feel free to click YouTube down below, click on it, and I would definitely appreciate if you could just throw me a subscribe. Click the subscribe button, click the bell so that you know when my next videos come on. I do put other videos on, not just this, like my gameplay and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to build that, trying to get it. I want to get in the next few months, actually by Christmas, I would like to get 100 subscriptions before Christmas, simply because it allows me to change the name. I'm wanting to make partner on YouTube, but to do that I need to get 1,000 followers, like subscribers, but that's going to take some serious work. I need to keep plugging away, uploading videos. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening, day, night, wherever you are. And I will probably be back next Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for episode 12. And there will be more questions, some good ones and some bad ones and some shitty ones, and we'll have some fun then. Thanks for watching. Ciao. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate you enjoying the video. I hope you liked it. Feel free to follow, subscribe, ring bells, do your thing. If you want to watch more of this content, I will be having this show a lot more, and yeah, there's other shows as well, other videos on here, but there'll be more content coming as I go. This is episode 2, and it's been good.